Well, folks, I'll just give you a quick look round, show you what's going on. Start off in greenhouse and then I'll have a wander up to my plot, show you what's been going on up there. So there's not much going on in here now apart from a few of the tender stuff, like the peppers, these oxhorn peppers, which are getting a bit battered by green fly in the tips. I'm a bit loath to spray them, even though I've got this organic bug clear stuff, because it tends to make the leaves go a bit weird and I don't know, all curled up. So I don't know what I can do. I've been squashing all aphids, any that I've found, but when they get into the tips they can really make a mess, so I'll have to figure something out. Anyway, they're the tomatoes, Gardener's Delight and a Shirley. Like I said, I'm not growing many this year. And these are the second lot of lettuce I've planted, second lot, ready to go in. I've got a bit drawn in here because it's been warm, so it'll be probably hard to survive outside with all that lush stuff on, but they're growing well. And I've got another little cucumber. It's not exactly flying on. And these are the little, I forgot what they call them now, pearl chillies. They're really sweet chillies. Well, they're not putting on much of a spurt either, but it has been cold up here. Up north it's been a bit cowed, so I've got a few of those. I've got some in the polytunnel planted into the soil. And lastly in here I've just got my normal tumbling tomatoes, which are growing really well. I've got flowers on now, so we should get be getting a few tomatoes on shortly. So that's it in the greenhouse. Like I said, not a lot going on, so I'll just nip up to the plot now and show you what's going on up there. Well, hi folks, just going to have a quick wander up to the plot, have a quick look. I don't know whether you can hear all the birds, all the trees we planted, over the traffic. Anyway, we'll get on and have a look. Well folks, just give you a quick look, show you what's going on. Peas have grown. We've had about 6 inches of rain in the last 3 or 4 days. It's absolutely tipped it down, so I mean, I must admit it did need the rain. So everything's really shot on. Weeds as well, but I came up last night and I weeded it. So everything's looking pretty good, I think, so far. I planted a few beetroot. They got a bit attacked by the old slugs. Nothing else really got affected but the beetroot, and they're only little things, as you can see. So I've just got a little row of those, about 20 in there. These are the shallots, the banana shallots. Some I've planted singly and some in clumps of 2, 3 and 4. Doing alright. Spring onions, got 2 different types. I've got the Ishikura, which are the long, tall, thick ones apparently. I think these are Ishikura. And white Lisbon as normal. Well, they're looking good so far. Looking good. And I've got some lettuce in. Got some multigrain, some Webb's Wonderful Iceberg, and a few little gem lettuce, some cos. Just stand up. Ooh. So onions, doing alright, looking so far. I've got a couple of rows of red ones and a couple of rows of normal ones. And the garlic, looking alright. Looking healthy enough. So really this bed, it's not doing too badly really, I don't think. And the potatoes in the pots, they're all starting to come up now. We've got some Sarpo Mira as usual and Sarpo Blue Danube. The Blue Danube were a little bit further on. And then I've put 3 or 4 pots of Nicola first early potatoes in there. So they're coming along. Should be about probably a month before I tip those out. I've got some in the polytunnel that have been growing a lot longer than these, so we'll see. And I've planted a few parsnips this year. I haven't done it for years. And I don't know whether you can see, they need thinning out. I've cored a big hole in the soil, filled it full of compost and planted a few seeds in each hole, so hopefully they're easier to pull out. So I've done a few of those. Like I said, they need thinning out, so there's about 8 of those in there. So just filling a few gaps up. But yeah, slugs haven't attacked my lettuces, which is quite unusual. So they're looking quite good. They just seem to like beetroot. But anyway, like I said, I've been keeping on top of my weeds. I came up last night and hand weeded it all, so there's only a few odd ones knocking about. So it's not doing too bad. So before I walk into this next bit, Just look how many of these poppies are about to come out. There's masses of them. And the flowers, when they come out, are huge. Absolutely enormous, lovely things. They don't last very long, a couple of days, but they are magnificent. So, and these are perennials, so there's loads of those ready to come out. So it should be a good old show in a few days if the sun comes out. I don't have many plants, perennials, but what I do have, what I planted years ago, is this huge iris bush. It's some kind of rare, specific variety. I bought it from a really fancy garden centre somewhere. But it doesn't produce that many flowers. As you can see, there's some just coming out now. And they're absolutely wonderful. Apparently irises need the corms to be baked in the sun for them to flower profusely. So, but it has spread, and there's probably 20 odd flowers ready to come out, so I'll video those when they come out, because they are absolutely beautiful flowers. So I also like perennials because you don't have to worry about them. Anyway, second lot of peas coming up, along with the mare's tail that's coming up now. It's on its march, it's spreading everywhere from like the wall side over. I'll just show you some more here now. I can't control it at all. It's just coming up everywhere, look. Between me patio, everything, look, everywhere. All I'm doing is just going to keep hoeing it off and hope for the best, because I've tried spraying it with glyphosate, it doesn't make a shite of difference, so I just don't know. Anyway, a few of the fruit bushes, the gooseberries, starting to form little gooseberries now, a bit later than most people down south and stuff, but with all this water we should get a nice little crop in a bit. They should start to swell. Rhubarb, for some reason that one's getting eaten to death, but this one, this is the pink champagne or something it's called. If I show you the leaves, it might be a bit dark tonight, it's quite late. If you look at the colour, fantastic colour, and so sweet. You don't hardly need to put any sugar in when you're making a pie or crumble with that, it's fantastic. So we'll just have a look in the other bit and show you my flower bed. Right then, this is the flower bed, and believe it or not, I have weeded it. Everything that I notice as a weed, they are the odd ones, but anything I notice to be a weed, like that one, I will take out, but everything else looks like poppies, if you see. Californian poppies, there's some other kind of poppies. And what else have we got? God knows, but there's all sorts of stuff. There's a bit of chickweed in amongst it, but I'll root that out and thin that out. But see, I've got quite a good covering, and if all these do produce some cracking flowers, we should have a heck of a show. So I'm quite pleased with that now. It should give me a good show later on. So in the rest of this bit, a few sweet peas growing up there, a few more of the spare onions, a few more of the spare shallots and spring onions in there. This is the kale, under some protection, as you can see, taking off a bit now. And then this is where the cabbages are growing. You can't really see it through these, but these are the red cabbages. Doing alright, could do with a little bit of weeding. And then these are the leeks I planted the other day, last week. All still intact, so not so bad. And a couple more rhubarbs. But yeah, it should be alright. Everything's looking fine. Just a little bit more weeding to do, and then we'll see what happens later. So apart from the carrots I'm growing in the polytunnel, I'm growing some outside as well in a box. And I made like a little Enviromesh cover for it. Oh, with a big piece of metal to keep it on. Just to try and keep the carrot fly off. Do with a bit of a weeding as well, but they're all firing now. Probably about 300 carrot fly popped in now, so. But yeah, they're alright, and hopefully this thing should keep the carrot fly out. But having said that, if they've laid their eggs in the soil up from last year, then they're going to hatch out into this thing and they won't be able to escape. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens. So into the polytunnel. I do try and keep it weeded, but there's some weeds that I like to keep, like these, look, foxgloves, white foxglove. I'd have a foxglove anywhere, so keep those just to see what they look like. So, what have we got in here? I planted the parsnips out. These are just the giant ones for stupidity's sake. And if you look, you know, there's a fair old top on them already. But I don't know what they'll be like. They've got till about September to grow or whatever. So we'll see. And I did plant the carrot out, the single giant carrot, but it's absolutely miles behind. But I've got that much space in here this year. I thought I might as well plant it. Likewise, I used to grow my giant spuds in here, so I planted another courgette plant, another cucumber plant, which I'm going to hopefully trail up this bracket of my polytunnel. And these are those little chilli plants, the ones that produce little tiny, really sweet chillies. So I planted a few of those. The onions, the last year's giant onions that I put to seed, as you can see, starting to form seed heads. And that one over there. So they end up looking a right mess, but it doesn't matter as long as they produce flowers. That's really all you're after. I'll just have a quick wander onto these. These are the show carrots. Well, not necessarily show carrots, just sweet candle carrots in the sand again. Absolutely flying along now. Looking really healthy. No pests or anything this year. I used to get them eaten by unknown beasties last year, as they were little seedlings, but nothing this year, so everything survived. So that's good. I'll probably get the best carrots I've ever grown, and I'm not putting them in any shows, so anyway, we'll see. Planted the French beans out. Oh, nearly fell over. Planted the French beans out. As you can see, they're starting to climb up the canes now. I've just planted 6 because that's more than enough to produce, you know, absolutely carrier bags full of French beans. And I've plonked a few spare lettuce at the back just for a bit of a catch crop. So we should have a few lettuces in a couple of weeks. I'll take them really small. There's no point in letting them mature when I've got that many got outside. So I'll probably take a few lettuces in a couple of weeks. The potatoes in pots. I think I spotted one the other day with some little buds on. Buds appearing. But I can't find it now. Which is a sign that there'll probably be some spuds. You can also feel the pots, and there's bits of swelling. You can be assured that there are a few potatoes, but I'll give those another couple of weeks. Oh, there we go, look. There are some flower buds appearing. So we should have some little crop of new potatoes in a few weeks, couple of weeks perhaps. So this is another courgette, because you can't get enough courgettes. And then I'm growing a cucumber in a pot, a big pot, because I've grown them in the soil here before, and I think I've got verticillium wilt or something, because they always grow really well and then they get this horrible disease and die. So I thought if I grow it in some fresh compost, not let it get in contact with the soil, it might be a bit might last a bit longer this year. Anyway, finally the onions. As you can see, these are the red onions. Like I said before, they're not going to be anywhere near as big as the giant normal coloured ones, but they are starting to get a bit of girth, and these will probably only start to bulb up in a couple of weeks, mid-June, because they were planted so late. So the more leaves I can get on, the better. The more leaves, the more rings, the bigger the onion. But I'm really only after something. £3 would be a good size, I think, this year. But so far so good, no pests. So I've got two of those growing. So anyway, if you could hear the wildlife over the bloody traffic, I wish they'd shut this road down sometimes. I'll just show you how our trees are getting on. Planted thousands of trees a few years ago, only about 5 years ago. We're getting on now, we're getting deer and foxes and all sorts like you've seen. I've taken some cracking pictures with my trail cam, so I'll upload a video of those. Well, like I said, I just wish they'd shut that bloody road down. Then it'd be like bliss. Anyway, that's about it, folks. I'll see you later.